we know that St. Paul was one of the greatest preachers of the church, perhaps even the greatest preacher. And through his ability to look at the scriptures, look at the prophecies of ancient Israel, and piece things together to explain to people how Jesus was the fulfillment of all of the Old Covenant, that won many, many hearts and minds over to the gospel. But we also know that is not how St. Paul began. St. Paul began by persecuting the church, trying literally to stamp it out. He has a change of heart. The Lord comes to him and he recognizes the error of his ways. But with regard to the church, it takes some convincing. And it is St. Barnabas who convinces the other apostles in Jerusalem that they should give Paul a chance, that they should allow him into the fold, that they should give him a mission to go out and preach the gospel. This was not a small feat. How would you react to someone that you know had been previously trying to kill you, to kill your family, or at the very least, to stamp out your faith? The apostles were justifiably skeptical. But St. Barnabas, living out this radical kind of love, forgiveness, and really a metanoia, a conversion that looks ahead toward the future, he convinces the apostles to give Paul a chance. And thank God he did. Where would the church be without this ministry of St. Paul? Without his mining of the scriptures to explain the place in all of salvation history that Jesus Christ has? Where would we be? St. Barnabas gives us a very important reminder. In our own day, there are so many places where the church is being persecuted, and so many different ways in which the faith is being either belittled or undermined or attacked. And it's very easy just to get defensive, to look at people saying certain things or doing certain things, and perhaps even giving into a temptation from time to time, not to pray for them, but to pray against them. If we would call ourselves people of faith, people of hope, people who have not given up that the wonders of God are simply confined to the past, that when we see that talking head in the media, or when we see the world leader, or when we see the terrorist out and bent on the destruction of the church and the silencing of the gospel, we should look at that person and have in the back of our minds, that might be the next greatest convert to the faith. And let us pray to St. Barnabas and ask for his assistance, that we may have that openness of mind and heart, that openness to what the Spirit of God has not yet accomplished, but seeks to accomplish in the hearts even of our worst enemies. And know that only such an openness allows for the growth of the church and the spread of the gospel that we so deeply long to see.